Hello and welcome to Learning Access 2013. My name is Mike Henry and this is the 9th video from Tutorial 3. In this video we're going to catch up on a lot of things. These are all things that are related to tables and queries. So we're going to learn how to use the F2 key to jump in and out of navigation. We're going to see hiding and unhiding. We'll see how to find things and then how you could use find and replace and then how we don't want to use that. We'll take a look at the navigation pane, we'll take a look at what plus buttons at the front of tables means, and then we're going to learn how to format and color. So here I want to show you the difference between the navigation and the editing mode. This is the same for a table. The things that I'm showing you right now could be done in a table too. So you can see right now as I tab through here I am in what we call the navigation mode, and I move from field to field to field as I hit the tab key. I'm going to come back to this field. You can see right now I am in the navigation mode. If I were to start typing my name, I've moved into the editing mode. I'm editing that field. You can actually see that right there. When I tab off I am still editing here. So I am in the navigation mode again. And what I want to show you is, even though I'm on this field as in navigation mode, I can hit the F2 key. And as soon as I hit the F2 key, I've moved now into the editing mode of that particular field. As I start hitting the backspace, I can be removing that name, and I could put in my name. So I've moved from the editing mode to the navigation mode by hitting F2. Again, I'm moving in and out of these different modes by using the F2 key. Just one of the quick ways to jump in and out of modes. For this piece of hiding and unhiding, I've opened up the table. You can see we're in TBL patient, and you can see I can come to this parent field right here. I can just right click on it and go down to hide that field, and you can see that field has now been disappeared. I also have the ability to bring that back by right clicking on it and going unhide fields. But one of the neat things about the unhide field button is it gives us a list of everything. So I could determine that maybe I want to take these fields here, and real quickly I remove those fields or hide those fields and I hit close. Those fields are now hidden, and if I hit save on my table and I close the table, the next time I open the table you'll see that those fields are still hidden. Now of course I can always put those back by coming to unhide the fields and then putting the check marks back in here, and now my fields will be visible. So now you can see the difference between hiding and unhiding fields. You can see here we've got the patient query reopened up, and we have a lot of data here, and I might be trying to find a particular record, and one of the functions I can use is something called find. So I can do a Control F, which will bring this right up, and I can get my find and replace piece here, or I can go to the home, and here you'll see where the binoculars show me the find. I can also click on find, and you can see it puts in find what, my last name, because that was the field I was on. But let's say I wanted to find everyone from Hartford, so I would put in Hartford here, and so it's going to find the next Hartford. But what you're going to notice when I hit find next is it says no items were found. And what you're doing is you're right now finding only in the current field. So if I want to do all the fields I have to switch to current document, and I do find next, and you can see it finds the next Hartford, and as I keep clicking through I can find each Hartford. Now I also have the ability to do a replace in here. I could replace Hartford with Auburn. Okay, and when I hit replace, you can see it replaces the next one. And as I scroll through, now I could, a very dangerous situation, just say replace all, and it says you're about to do this and you won't be able to undo this, and I hit yes, and now every Hartford is gone and they've been replaced with Auburn. So this is something that could corrupt a huge amount of data rather quickly. So I would suggest to you never to use a find and replace. As a matter of fact, sometimes the database gods will turn that off so you can't use a find and replace and destroy a large amount of data quickly. Here I want to show you a little bit about our navigation pane. So there's some things about it. Right now when we look at our navigation pane, we have it open. This button right here, these little arrows, allow me to open and shut our navigation pane. So we have control over that. This button right next to it allows us how we're going to access our objects. So if I click right here, I could show just the queries, and you'll notice that it shows me just queries. I could click in here for just pieces, and this right now is showing my objects by object type, and if I click here, I get to see all of my object types. Now I also have the ability to say show them by related tables. So now what you see is that I've got a table, and that's my patient table, and then you can see that this query and this query show up because they're somehow related to this table, as is this form. Now down here my visit table has nothing, as do these following tables have nothing related to that. So if I had other queries that were related to all of these, you could see those show up in multiple places. Most people will go to the object type because it shows them each object individually, and it makes it a little bit easier. But that's some things about our navigation pane. You also have the ability to open and close our navigation pane and show not the objects but just the object pieces in there. As we look at this table, I want you to see that there are some plus signs here at the beginning of the record, and basically that means this record is related to something else. So when I click on this plus sign, you can see here that Steve has two IDs that are showing up in the visit table. That means he's had two different visits. And then if I click on one of these, I can see that this has been invoiced in two different ways. There's two different invoices associated with this one particular visit. If I click here, we can see there's actually, wow, quite a few invoices that were billed against this particular visit for this particular patient. So it begins to show us a structure of relationships here. Just one way that you can do that, and you can close them all up really quickly by hitting the plus and minus button here. I do want to show you that because I'm down at my lowest level here, I could take this particular record if I wanted to, and I could highlight the record and I would hit delete, and you can see that I can delete that one particular record. Now I can't come back here to this particular record and hit delete, because if I try to do that, I'm going to end up creating some orphans. So that one is protected through referential integrity. But I could delete the other one because it was set up very easily. I just deleted a child. So the last thing I wanted to show you is that we have some control over the looks of this particular results. These are the results of the patient list query. You can see that right now I have a particular font. I have the right to change that. I could bring this down and give it old Bookman style if I want it. I could bold that out. I could make it just slightly bigger if I decided I wanted it slightly bigger. I could italicize, underline it, and put in different colors. So all of this is things that I can do to this, and what I'm doing right now is best fitting it so I can see all of my information. Now I have other things that I can do in this query too. I have this thing here which allows me to handle grid lines. So right now I'm going to remove all the grid lines, and you can see all those lines that were in there have been removed. This is an option for helping people. You might decide to put just the horizontal ones in so it provides a little bit easier reading, or you could go back to putting both up and down and side to side ones. Now this button right next to it is also a useful button. This allows me to control the coloring of the fields. So here I can put here, and you can see every other line will become green. This is to prevent greasy fingerprints on your screen, because now someone can follow across with their eye instead of taking their finger and putting it on the monitor and sliding and making a greasy fingerprint. So you can see you can control this. You can make really dark ones. You can make a lot subtler that is not as hard on the eye. You could combine the coloring that you're doing along with the font color. Lots of different things that you can make your results look easier for people to read. So this video was a catch-all for all the things that we were doing. We caught all the things that were unrelated to queries as far as how to create a query. These were the basic things on how to work with queries, tables, and the looks of things.